couple of years ago, I got a call from a cousin of mine, and she said to me, I was living in New York at the time, she said to me, Elazar, I need to ask you a favor. I said, sure. She tells me her father is in the hospital. He's in Mount Sinai Hospital, and he's been there for quite a while. And the doctors are a little bit mystified, not sure entirely what to do for him and how to help him. And he's having a very, very hard time. And her father, who's generally a very jovial, upbeat, really, freilich yid, positive person, he's slipping into a little bit of a marish chayra, a little bit of a depression. And she said, I know you have a very nice relationship with this uncle. You have a very nice relationship with my father. He really enjoys your company. I know it's so hard for you. I mean, you're in Borough Park. To go out to Mount Sinai Hospital is a schlep. It'll take you a couple of hours. Would you be okay? Could I ask you to go visit my father? And I said, of course. You should have told me earlier. I would have been happy to go to him. So, now, let me tell you, it was a schlep. I hate driving in Manhattan. Hate trying to find parking there. But for my uncle, I'll do anything. So, I went there. I'd never been. Now the problem is, I'd never been at Mount Sinai Hospital. I knew Lenox Hill. My mother spent an awful amount of time over there. I knew NYU. I knew Columbia. I had relatives in each place. Mount Sinai was brand new to me, so I was stucker than stuck. But I said, okay, I'm going to help my uncle. Fine. So I went out to visit him, and it took me a while. I had to find where to park. It was such a ride. Come on, and finally, I get in there and I have to go find my way through the hospital. It's a big place. And, okay, I got there. I visited him. It was very nice. Baruch Hashem, he was doing well. And eventually, sometime later, he came out of the hospital. And that was that. And I went home feeling like, okay, Meisels, you did your good deed for the day. Be very proud of yourself. This was about a week and a half before Pesach. 3-4 days before Pesach. One of my sons, at the time, he's 12 now. So what was he? It was about 5 years ago. Yeah. So he was 7, 8, and he wakes up one morning and he's having a lot of pain on his side, and we weren't sure what it was. Ultimately, a day or two of this goes by, and we took him to the doctor thinking, yeah, it's nothing, he pulled a muscle. And the doctor says, no, I don't think so. I think this is a little more complicated. I have a feeling maybe this is some kind of a blockage over here that we have to take care of. I want you to go take him for a test. So we took him for a test, and it came out that there was a blockage in the kidney, and it wasn't, Baruch Hashem, anything terribly serious, but it needed to be taken care of, and it needed to be taken care of immediately. So, it's right before Pesach. What are we going to do? So his pediatrician, who is a wonderful doctor, said, don't worry, there's a big specialist, and he's a frum yid, and he's going to understand this, and Pesach was, I think it was Thursday night or Friday night, I don't remember the days exactly, but he said, I know that he does surgery tomorrow he does surgery in the hospital. So I'm going to call him up at home, and I'm going to ask him, no matter what he has, to stick your son into his schedule. So I said, okay. So he called us back a few minutes later. He says, okay, the doctor said, go to the emergency room, the pediatric emergency room, first thing in the morning, and whenever he has a break, he'll pull him into the operating room. The whole procedure is about 45 minutes, and as Hashem, he'll take care of him. But you might be there the whole day, you don't know, whatever it's going to be, you got to be there first thing in the morning. I said, okay, great. Which hospital am I going to? He says, Mount Sinai Hospital. He's like, you know what to do, you know where to go? I said, yep, I got it. I got this one. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly where to go. I got it. And it was so easy for me after that. And we ended up having to go a number of times there. And yeah, I know this place. I know this place like the back of my hand. Why do I know this place? I know this place because a week and a half earlier, the Rebbeinu Shalom had decided to show me how to go. The Rebbeinu Shalom takes you where you got to go. The Rebbeinu Shalom shows you where to go. So you got to trust in the Rebbeinu Shalom. You got to talk to the Rebbeinu Shalom and say, Rebbeinu Shalom, take me where you want me to go. Give me a sign. Show me how I should know where I want to go, and then I'm going to get there. And Be'ez Hashem, you do that. When you're in the hands of the Rebbeinu Shalom, he's the best GPS ever. Nobody ever takes you where you got to go with the least amount of traffic and the least amount of congestion as the Rebbeinu Shalom. So he is the ultimate guide. He is the one that you have to turn to. And together you should have Gevaldik Hatzlacha, whether you go, whether you stay, wherever you do, wherever you go. The Iker is to recognize at all times. The Rebbeinu Shalom is the Mech Mitzad Gavar Lech Lecha. The Rebbeinu Shalom Ela Aretz Asher Areka, says the Baal HaTurim, the Rebbeinu Shalom gave Anonim. The Rebbeinu Shalom gave Avraham Avinu clouds that took him through, not just the Yid and the Midbar. The Rebbeinu Shalom gave Avraham Avinu, he had clouds that showed him where to go. It wasn't just march your way around there to show, go from falafel stand to falafel stand. No, the Rebbeinu Shalom was showing him where to go. And all of us, in our own way, when we look to the Rebbeinu Shalom, he sends us Anonim, he sends us clouds, he sends us guides, he sends us different ways to advise us and to show us where to go. And we just have to turn to Him and look to Him and say, Rebbeinu Shalom, help me, and the Rebbeinu Shalom will help us. So